UV ultraviolet radiation from indoor tiny beds and sun lamps can cause skin damage, including skin burns, eye damage, and skin cancer. Yeah, my beautiful people, my lovely people, my healthy people, welcome to Green Health Channel. I hope you've been taking good care of yourselves and your health. Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be looking at 13 crazy beauty trends on social media that is harmful to your health. Looking good at all times is becoming more and more important in our society. People invest a great deal of effort and money in the search for beauty. However, the short-term advantages of some of the most widely used methods of altering our appearances are distinctly outweighed by the eyebrow-raising health dangers associated with these beauty trends. So the following beauty trends are extremely harmful and should be avoided at all costs. The first one we'll be looking at is tanning. So one of the most prevalent and easily avoidable types of cancer is the skin cancer. The deadliest type of skin cancer is the melanoma. It's currently the most prevalent cancer among individuals within the range of 25 to 29 years of age. That is according to the American Cancer Society. Well, before the age of 35, indoor tanning increases the risk of melanoma by as much as 75%. It doesn't take a genius to figure out that keeping kids from tanning might be very beneficial to public health. Many Americans, especially teenagers, continue to use tanning beds and sun lamps to achieve a bronzed appearance, despite the significant health hazards associated with indoor tanning, according to a recent study. UV ultraviolet radiation from indoor tanning beds and sun lamps can cause skin cancer or damages, which include skin burns, eye damage, and skin cancer, like I mentioned earlier. An estimated 28 million Americans get sunburned indoors each year, according to the American Academy of Dermatology. Also, 2.3 million of them are teenagers. A dependence on tanning may develop from repeated exposure to UV light. According to research published in the journal Clinical and Experimental Dermatology in 2010, women and younger people who begin tanning earlier in life may be more susceptible to acquiring a compulsive need to tan. Two, ditching hair or ignoring sunscreen. The spray-on types of sunscreen should be avoided. They do not totally mask and you are not inhaling anything. Don't believe an SPF of more than 50 either. Sun protection efficacy of SPFs peaks between 30 and 50. Avoid popular chemicals such as oxybenzoin and retinol palmitate. Retinol palmitate is especially dangerous for children because it can cause cancer and skin problems. Homo-1 virus can be affected by oxybenzoin. A popular video that has been replicated on TikTok shows how to apply sunscreen to get a contoured look. All areas of the face are affected by skin cancers. Using sunscreen on certain areas and missing others to create a pattern may be trendy, but the UV damage to the tanned area will invariably increase the risk of skin cancers in that site. Additionally, prolonged exposure to UV light in these regions will cause them to age prematurely. 3. Wigs and braids. According to a 2011 study published in the Archives of Dermatology, African American women who get braids or weaves may be more susceptible to irreversible hair loss. Central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia is the name given to this kind of hair loss that starts on the scalp and can progress throughout. 326 African American women were questioned by researchers regarding their hair grooming routines, family and medical histories, and others. After that, dermatologists examined the women's scalps to determine the severity of their hair loss, and after checking this women's scalp, they discovered that over 60% of the female participants had advanced hair loss. Loops researchers found that hair treatments like braids and weaves are popular among African Americans. Due to the high cost of the treatments, people may choose to keep them in for weeks or months at a time to justify the money spent. This is according to study authors. 4. Tattoo. A 2010 study found that a person's tattoo collection was associated with a higher chance of contracting hepatitis C, particularly if the tattoo artist's needle was tainted with blood from an infected patient. According to the Mayo Clinic, the virus that causes hepatitis C assaults and inflames the liver, which can result in liver failure, liver cancer, and cirrhosis or scarring of the liver tissue. Infections of the skin, which result in redness, swelling, and pain, are also more common in tattoo recipients. Also, red, green, yellow, and blue tattoo inks might result in allergic skin reactions, including itching, rashes at the tattoo sites. 5. Botox. Injections of Botox have become the go-to remedy for wrinkles on the face. A prescription version of botulinum toxin type A, known as Botox, relaxes muscle for a few months. Then, after it relaxes muscle for those few months, what happens? The bacterial Clostridium botulinum, which causes botulism, an uncommon but dangerous disease, is the source of the toxin. Even though the injections are usually safe, problems and side effects can still happen. This can include headaches, nausea, transient muscle weakness, and soreness. Also, bruising at the injection sites. Botox was given the go-ahead for cosmetic use in 2009 by the US Food and Drug Administration, but it came with a boxed warning label that warned of the toxin's potential to spread to other parts of the body, resulting in symptoms that resemble those of botulism, such as breathing and swallowing difficulties, as well as mortality. However, the majority of these effects have been observed in children with cerebral palsy who are receiving Botox treatment for muscular spasticity, a use of the medication that the FDA has not approved. 6. Widening contact lenses for the eyes. According to some specialists, circle lenses, contact lenses that distort your eyes, may result in major visual issues. When consumers purchase contact lenses without a legitimate prescription or guidance from an eye specialist, they run the risk of suffering serious eye injuries, including blindness. Well, teenage girls have grown to be especially fond of the lenses. As to customer reports, adhesives containing formaldehyde or other biologic materials are typically used to adhere individual synthetic fibers to natural eyelashes, which are called eyelash extensions. Both the adhesives and the solvents used to remove them may trigger allergic responses or reaction. Also, there is a chance of bacterial and fungal infection when using cosmetic eyelash enhancers. If filtering contacts can seriously harm the eye by depriving it of oxygen, and contacts could result in blindness also. Please like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell. Thank you. 7. Lotions that bleach the skin. The FDA claims that certain cosmetic items, such as skin lightening lotions, have elevated mercury content. Mercury is utilized in skin lightening treatments because it inhibits the synthesis of the skin pigment melanin. Elevated mercury levels can also be discovered in certain anti-aging soap and lotion products. There can be major health effects from mercury exposure. In addition to harming the neurological system and kidneys, it can impede a child's or unborn child's brain development. Consumers are to read the labels of any products that claim to lighten or age skin. You should cease using the product right away if you encounter any words like mercury, mercurious chloride, calomel, mercuric, or mercurial. Products for straightening hair is number 8. There are certain hair straightening products like the Brazilian blowout, hair relaxer contain a number of chemicals, including dangerously high quantities of formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is a pungent gas that, if inhaled, can irritate the eyes, nose, and skin. It can also trigger allergic reactions, including breathing difficulties similar to asthma, and skin rashes and itching. The hair straightening procedure, which can cost up to $500, is surprisingly popular despite being available at hundreds of beauty salons, according to the New York Times. According to the FDA, products such as Brazilian blowout are frequently mislabeled as formaldehyde-free, when in fact they are not. 9. Scraping off the mole. A few videos that the BBC viewed advocated for mole removal using chemical or physical means. Experts recommend having a specialist examine any moles before having them removed. This needs to be done by a qualified doctor or dermatologist who is trained and knows what they are doing. Infections, bleeding, scarring, and deformities of the area could result from using chemicals or trying to scrape off a mole. One hot technique suggests putting eyelash glue on the skin. Can you imagine that? Doing so to produce a plumping appearance could result in scarring or permanent disfigurement. Cyanoacrylate is the ingredient present in eyelash glue, and it is known to be a contact allergen. Applying a potentially allergenic chemical to lips could result in a severe reaction. 10. Using bleach. Videos on TikTok that use the hashtag teeth whitening have received roughly 284 million views. Some advise using bleach on teeth in order to steer clear of expensive over-the-counter remedies. Teeth whitening products are only allowed to be sold directly to the general public in the UK if their hydrogen peroxide content is less than 0.1%. 11. Waist training. Adopting a daily herb workout is not the same as waist training. Women are strangely adopting this frightening, uncomfortable, and maybe hazardous technique in an attempt to lose a few inches of their midsections. 12. Gel manicures. Even with frequent salon visits, the danger of skin cancer is minimal due to the low UV exposure. Dr. Chris Adigun, a clinical assistant professor of dermatology at NYU Langone Medical Center, says it doesn't mean the polishes get away with it. The problem is there is no regulation of nail lamp exposure. Adigun explains. Patients who are not worried about their risk of melanoma should be aware of the photoaging caused by UV exposure. 13. Participating actively in Team No Sleep. Alright, not only can sleep deprivation lead to weight gain, memory issues, poor performance, depression, and an increased risk of cancer, but it also causes neurotoxins such as the protein beta amyloid to accumulate in the brain. This accumulation can exacerbate sleep disorders and is also associated with an increased risk of Alzheimer's disease. We have come to the end of the video, guys. Please, before you participate in any beauty trends you see on social media, you will do yourself a lot of good by double checking to see if it is safe for you. Remember, health is wealth. Please take good care of yourself. The Green Health Channel do care for you. Thank you for sticking by. See you next time.